Well, welcome back to Adventures in the Library. This is the next segment of Adventures in the Library. As I promised, I'd bring them Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So this is the next installment of this. So what's going to happen now is that we had gone from moron all the way into neurology, and sort of completed our tour around there. So what we're going to do next is we're going into the Encyclopedia now. We finished with the book, and now we're going to go into the Encyclopedia, and we're going to follow the same path and see if we can, pull more information out of things. So the first one I'm going to look for is moron. Right? And we started out with moron, so we're going to take the exact same path that we did in the dictionary, and we're going to follow it in the encyclopedia here. Let's see what we get. We're at molecule. Okay. Moment. Motor. Here we go. It's getting. And they don't have moron in here. So now let's go to mental defect and see if we have a mental defect. And here we go, mental deficiency and mental defect. Okay, when we look at mental deficiency, it says a arrested or incomplete development of the mind due to arrested or incomplete development of the brain. In other words, they're connecting the mind directly with the brain. So they say, and this is their particular view here on that. So in the United States, mental defectives are classified as idiots, those who have mental development, whose mental development never gets beyond that of a normal child of 3, imbeciles who reach the mental age of 7, feeble-minded individuals who reach the mental age of 12 years old, and then 4 morons whose mental age is 12 years old. Right, so we've got they've sort of divided us up in the one that they've added in is feeble-minded, which is basically from 8 years old to 10 in terms of the mental capacity and their behavior in terms of the mental age, and then morons whose mental age is 12 years old, and that's the maximum it reaches here. Morons are often intelligent enough to provide for themselves and lead a simple, normal social life. In Great Britain, mental deficiency is defined as the condition of arrested development in Great Britain, mental deficiency is defined as the condition of arrested development of mind existing before the age of 18 years. And mental defectives are subdivided into idiots who are unable to guard themselves, against common dangers, imbeciles who are not idiots, are incapable of managing or being taught to manage themselves or their affairs. 3. The feeble-minded, who are thought not to be imbeciles, are so defective as to require supervision and control, and as children are incapable of receiving education at school. 4. Moral defectives, in whom in whom mental defect is coupled with vicious or criminal propensities. So that's they've got that. They're number 4, and they don't necessarily have in here. They don't have a definition of moron. They sort of drop that out in the British definition in terms of how they subdivide things. And the next section, they go into the causes of mental deficiency are numerous. The causes of mental deficiencies are numerous. Mental deficiency okay. In primary mental deficiency, heredity is a predominant factor. In other words, they say this passes. It's a genetic thing, and it passes from person to person. At this time, the genetic research when this was written, this was pre-1960s, was basically non-existent. So this at this point in time, heredity and genetics was a theoretical, or actually I should say a hypothetical link. They really hadn't got a good test for this. Mental deficiency is a complex hereditary characteristic, complex of heritable characteristics, and does not behave as a simple medallion, recessive. Let's see here. So yeah, it has been established if two mental defectives. It has been established that if two mental defectives marry, all their children will be mental defectives. If a mental defective marries a normal, there will be a strong likelihood that a mental deficiency will appear in early subsequent generation. Secondary mental defectives result more often not results most commonly from encephalitis, either the epidemic variety or as a complication of such diseases as measles. So in other words, they're going into a lot of the behaviors and how things are actually passed on. They're going into some of the medical causes of this that they thought at the particular point in time. This is what it was. This has actually changed for now. But we're not going to go into what they're saying now. We're continually looking at what they've been saying in here. So what happens is that they go in and they actually describe Down syndrome here as something known as Mongoloid idiocy or Mongolian idiocy. This is the proper term, Mongolian idiocy. And this was the previous definition, and this is where the definition for retard came in. And it under this understanding here, as you saw, the belief was that these people couldn't take care of themselves, and at the time, most of these people were institutionalized. So we're good. We had a good start here. We're going to leave this at this particular point in time in the encyclopedia, and then we will move on in the next segment from mental deficiency. We're going to take a look at psychology, because we go from there to psychology, and then from there, from psychology, we'll look at psychiatry, and then neurology. And then we'll take some notes. We'll do a sort of a review, take some notes, and then decide where we're going to go from there on out.